TikTok Shop is exploding, and it feels like the olden days of e-commerce where it's almost too easy to get a lot of sales coming in. So let's dive deeper on TikTok Shop. If you're not familiar with FastMoss, this is an analytics tool, something you can use for research. And right now, the single number one product on TikTok Shop, if you're looking at the daily sales here, is this Beach Wave hair curler or straightener, something like that. And this thing is doing, what, $310,000 yesterday. That's insane. 6,300 orders. Now, fun fact about this TikTok shop called Beach Wave, they actually had to shut down, to pause their shop on TikTok, which a lot of stores are having to do because they're getting too many sales. This is what's crazy about TikTok Shop, and we have a lot to talk about with all the restrictions, and people are getting into trouble. But here's some top products and trends that I'm seeing right now. Health and wellness, all sorts of supplements, creatine, workout stuff, anything related to fitness, fitness bands, ab rollers. Those are products that are working really well. Anything for women. This might just sound crazy, but women do purchase more stuff online. And TikTok Shop has really given rise to a huge new line of clothing products that are just blowing up. I mean, you're going to see all sorts of those on here. I mean, it is constantly in the top products. I mean, women's tie-dye thing, women's matching top, women's solid color top, whatever this is. It's insane. I mean, these are doing $100,000 a day, $60,000 a day, $34,000. It's wild. So I'm going to take you through the whole thing, show you how to get approved on TikTok Shop, what to sell, how to do it, how to scale. We're going to talk about all the restrictions. All you got to do is drop a like on the video and make sure to subscribe, okay? This right here is one of my favorite research tools, but we got to back up a little bit, all right? I want to tell you about the types of products. We just hit on a few. I'm also seeing a lot of products that are more expensive elsewhere, stuff like Hydro Flasks, a very nice water bottle, your knockoff style stuff, different slippers and stuff like, not real Uggs, but stuff that's just significantly cheaper. Those are working really well. Now, what a lot of people don't understand with building an e-commerce business now that TikTok Shop is a thing, there's no ad cost. Now, I still run a lot of ads and we're making a lot of money with that. I'm going to explain how to use TikTok Shop for that. But it's basically just affiliates. Because if you go up here and see, let's go into product, we'll go to product search, okay? You can see the commission rate here. And so all of these products, like this one that did, what, $250,000 in sales in the last 7 days, okay? That's wild. But they're offering a 20% commission rate. So even if they're running no ads, they still did $230,000 through TikTok Shop, and their ad cost basically was 20%. That's it. And so it allows you to have a significantly higher margin. I mean, most of our TikTok shops are running at a 60, 65, sometimes 70% margin. It's crazy. So you can go in and see what some of these more successful stores are doing, the shops on here, in terms of the percentage. And you're going to notice it's really between 10 to 20%, which is the standard that people are paying. Again, a lot less than advertising. Now, you can run ads to your TikTok shop. The crazy part is they're being favorited so heavily. So if you go over here into your TikTok business account, you're launching a campaign, you click custom mode, you're going to see the option at the campaign level right below what we'd normally select when we're running TikTok ads for website conversions, right? We're trying to get sales. If you just go right below that, product sales, sell products from your TikTok shop, website, and app. What's crazy is if you do the exact same thing to the same product, the same price, the same deal, and you do website conversions, meaning you send them to an external website versus to your TikTok shop, your results are going to be about cut in half right now. Now, that doesn't mean, this is a big thing, that doesn't mean your results are half of what they used to be. It means TikTok shop is double. It's just that good. So it's still really profitable to run ads, but running ads outside of the affiliate stuff to TikTok shop works really, really well. So you can just select that option. Now, you're going to want to run ads eventually. You're going to need a website to host and all that stuff. A good spot to do that, to build off for your TikTok shop, you need a separate website with a domain and all that stuff, is going to be Hostinger. This is a really good spot, the cheapest place and most reputable in terms of hosting any sort of site. You don't need to have any coding experience. It includes a domain. Come down here, you can use their business plan. That includes a domain, which actually, if you're building a Shopify store and stuff, the domain is $15 a year. So, for $3.70 a month, plus you get 3 months free, you can go ahead and open your store using Hostinger, linked down below. I will leave that there. You can also get an extra 10% off by using the code Hayden Bowles. But this is going to be the best way for you to get a store set up so that you can have not only a TikTok shop, which I'm going to show you how to set up, but also have an external site, which is what we've been doing for 7 years. That way you can run ads, you can run Facebook ads, people can organically find and search for your store. You're going to want that. So make sure to check them out. I will leave that linked down below. You'll want to jump on their business plan. Absolutely crazy deal. Now, a big misconception about TikTok Shop is that it's easy to get on. I actually have a bunch of people around me who are still struggling to get on. I have students that, they apply 7 different times and finally get on. It takes a while. So not everyone is actually getting on there. Right now, it's pretty much only US residents. You need the US address. You need, I'll show you this in a second, what they require, a driver's license or a passport, and then company docs. Now, as you start, we'll talk about payouts with TikTok Shop. They might ask for more documents later, but you're going to need business docs to show that. You don't need like some business lease in an office and a warehouse and all this stuff, but you need actual stuff that will check out. Okay. And even if everything checks out, I have seen multiple people not get approved. So keep reapplying if that happens. That's going to be a really good option for you. But if we go over here, this is what's actually required through TikTok to open your shop. Okay. Sign up using a US phone number and an email address. Okay. And then for the application, you're going to need to verify your identity with a certificate of incorporation. That is a business doc, okay? And a US passport or US driver's license. So there's a couple of ways around this. This is something I just want to point out. Anybody can get a US phone number. It's not that hard. You can buy a Google Voice number. There's plenty of ways to purchase a US-based phone number. Now, one thing that many people in our e-commerce group have been doing is partnering with people in the US. So if you and somebody else want to build a store and somebody's not in the US and one is, team up together. That's something people can do. Other than that, right now, they have not opened it up to every other country. Just like normal TikTok ads, that's been a very slow rollout to open it up to other countries. So just want to point that out. They're saying 2 to 6 days for getting approved. I've seen it take longer. It really just depends. Right now, they're absolutely slammed. So let's keep going here. This is one thing that most people don't know, and I mentioned it in the last video when I did a full interview with my buddy Corey, showing some of the products that he's selling, some of the stuff that we're working on that are doing absolute numbers. So the TikTok global team has let us know that they're over, I thought it was only $1 billion, but Corey had the more updated numbers because he had just spoken with them. They're over $2 billion in the hole. And this is what people don't understand about TikTok Shop. Attention, please. Think about this for a second. This is wild. I'm even going to write this down. Let's say you're selling a product for $50, but your customers are going to get 40% off plus free shipping. Just think about how insane this is. So they're going to pay whatever that is. Let's call it $30 and they get free shipping. But you still get the full $50 and the fee for shipping. Who pays that? Not the customer. That is why TikTok is $2 billion in the hole, having only hit 3% market penetration of users on their platform. That's insane. That's just, no platform's ever done this. Ever. Just doesn't have, that's wild. Now, the reason why, and I can tell you this because I am currently the number 11 affiliate in the world for bringing businesses onto TikTok to spend money. Okay. Not pushing these products as an affiliate, the business side. Okay. And then we also spend a lot of money. So we get to talk to two sides of TikTok. Their only goal on both sides is to get people spending money on their platform. They want businesses paying to run ads on the platform. They want more of that, right? Increased revenue inside their platform. And they also want people shopping on the platform without leaving to an external site. That is why when you go here and you launch your TikTok ads, they are favoriting it very heavily when you're keeping it internal. Because if you ever see something on TikTok Shop, it is a one-page checkout. You don't lose your place when you're scrolling. When you're done, it goes right back to TikTok. You don't ever leave the platform. And that is what they like. YouTube does the same thing, right? If I leave 180 different links in the description, they're not going to like that as much as they would if I just left one link to another YouTube video of mine, because they just want people staying on the platform. That's it. That's the only reason. And so they are putting so much weight on this. Now, to talk about this, because it's really important for business owners, the payouts, okay? You are going to have a little bit of cash flow and a little bit of bankroll if you want to actually fund TikTok Shop successfully. There is a way to dropship. I'm going to mention that, but inventory is going to be your best bet. Okay, stick with me for a second. As your account history builds, the payouts will get faster, but they're really strict. We'll hit on that. But 14 days after your customer gets the order, after it's delivered, is when you actually receive the funds. So the whole idea of drop shipping was, I'm going to buy a product after someone has bought it from me. This is not that, right? You're not getting the funds until 2 weeks after they get their product. It's pretty crazy. I have seen TikTok reach out to people who are favorited on the platform. They're spending money. They have a good reputation as a seller. Get a message from TikTok saying, hey, we can help you with financing for your business. And I actually think they're giving slow payouts on purpose so they can double dip and then charge you an interest rate by lending you money to grow on the platform. It's crazy. So I do think that's a good idea for from TikTok's perspective, especially for people who can't scale. Because if they don't have the money, they're going to get in trouble. When people, even like Beach Wave, some of these top products that are getting orders, if you go and get a ton of orders and you can't fulfill them, you're going to get kicked off the platform. So even places like Beach Wave are hitting pause, not accepting new orders frequently because they keep running out of inventory. And so it's something you have to be very careful of. There's been a lot of little stores that blow up. The affiliates get them a ton of sales. And how the hell are they going to keep up? They don't have the money for that. So one thing to think of for cash flow management, I want to put this tip out there real quick. If you start small and your store blows up, a lot of people don't think about this. They're like, hey, I'm just starting. I haven't started yet. I don't have 150 grand or whatever to like really get it going. But you don't have anything yet. If you start small, you get a little bit of inventory, you start selling and it blows up, it's not that hard to find the money. And this is what people are going to go ballistic about on me. I already know. You can go find 50, 100 grand, 500 grand, $1 million if there's proof of orders. Okay. Not to mention, most manufacturers will actually float you that. I've seen that, especially if you have a relationship. Now, it might not be $1 million they float you, but if you've placed an order with them, you have inventory, you can show them the money that's sitting in there, you're getting the orders, some will work with you. Like that's a relationship that I have with 2 different manufacturers where if needed, that's a thing. And so it happens. I've seen it happen. But another thing, let's say your shop blows up and you don't have the 50 grand, right? You just did 180 in sales. You need 50 G's. You only had 10 to start, like way too many orders. You can come to people like me. I would happily do that, take a piece of the store and help you scale it if it makes sense. So I just want to put that out there. Like there are money people like that who do stuff like this. So get creative with it. Another thing I want to mention here is like some of the rules around TikTok Shop. People don't understand this. This is insane. They've reshaped the entire game. You have 3 days from when someone orders to have a shipping label scanned in by a carrier. Okay. They don't care if it's a weekend, if it's a holiday, and right, extended weekend with the holiday on Monday, so people aren't back. They don't care. It doesn't matter to them. And so you have to be able to get these things out the door quickly, and that is why dropshipping is a little difficult. Now, I'm going to mention this and I'm going to talk about how to dropship slightly, okay? Unlike PayPal, for an example, where like if you're doing sales through PayPal and they say they're going to hold your money and they want the tracking info, they just want to see that it's shipped. They don't actually follow along with it. TikTok does. You have a certain window of time to deliver that product, and they kick people off left and right, which is a good and bad thing for the platform, because for the people that are doing it right and they're following TikTok's guidelines, they're being rewarded in a very large way. As we can see on FastMoss here with all these sales, I mean, it's life-changing. It really is. I mean, we have a couple people inside of our e-commerce group that I coach crushing it, both with ads still, but some people who have really dominated TikTok early on with TikTok Shop. So it's really cool to see. But with this whole 3-day thing, the only way I've seen that you can kind of drop ship is I don't have to hold inventory in the US. I can use a US warehouse address. I can have inventory in China with a manufacturer where if you have a relationship, maybe you front them 5 grand and they give you another 5 of inventory. So there's 10 grand of inventory guaranteed that's sitting there. You start scaling. They then overnight the packages through airmail so it can get to the US within 48 hours at most from the actual order point. And then it can be scanned in, still fitting that 3-day timeline. Now, there is a unclear 7-day grace period because you can't consistently hit this. But if you start scaling or something's going on, they'll give you a little bit of leeway until 7 days. After that, the orders get canceled and refunded. Okay. So it's just something you have to keep in mind. Even if your order is shipped, like they'll get refunded and you're out the money, like and the product. So it is one thing there that you just want to keep in mind. They're being really, really strict. So I just wanted to give you that update here on TikTok Shop on approvals, what you're going to need. Keep reapplying if you're not getting approved inside of there. And you can also maybe use a friend's name or someone else's business if you're really just not getting approved. Although I haven't seen that happen too much. They're just strict and they're getting a lot of applications right now. But there's a ton of money to be made on this platform. So use a tool like this. You can go around and look at different TikTok shops and see what people are selling. But really, these are the types of products that are doing well. Health and wellness, any type of stuff for women. And I'm seeing a lot of like the general stuff that people like to buy anyways, but cheaper versions of that. Not necessarily less quality, but just a version of these successful products. So for an example, I'm seeing a lot of my old winners from Facebook being absolutely exploded on this platform. Dumb stuff from 6-7 years ago. In fact, there was a product that we did, I don't know, maybe $1 million with on TikTok ads like a year and a half ago. It was like an LED astronaut. Okay, this product here, last 7 days right here, $80,000 through TikTok Shop. And they're only giving 10%. Okay, when I ran this product, I was spending, I don't even know, 45% of the revenue on ads. It wasn't that great, right? I was still picking up 25, 28%, and I made a lot of money, but this is nuts. And they're not doing anything. You do nothing with TikTok Shop. It doesn't take work. Right? Getting it set up and products and samples sent out, and then you need some money to do it. But like, there's no high effort here. They're doing all the work for you for 10%. It's insane. So this is something to look at. I feel like a lot of people are underplaying TikTok Shop. Like, oh yeah, it's a cool thing. And I want to point one thing out. It's working, which means every other platform is going to copy this. I cannot say exactly which, but we've been on talks with another platform that is launching in the next 30 days that I'm going to be getting early beta access to. And I guarantee you, every other platform over time will follow suit. Because if an idea works, just like Instagram stories, now you have short stories, Facebook stories, you had Snapchat stories and highlight, like everywhere copies, right? So there will be a marketplace like this on every platform. TikTok Shop is incredible. Make sure to build your external store using Hostinger. I will leave the link down below. Super cheap, great spot to get everything set up. No technical skills needed. There's also an additional discount code right there. It's disgustingly cheap to get started. So set that up. I'll leave a couple other resources linked down below, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you take advantage of TikTok Shop. And if you haven't already, go watch my 2024 full e-commerce tutorial that is 2 hours long and walks you through everything you need to know, start to finish on the whole process. I'll also leave that linked below. Okay, have a good one.